Jesus told his followers, make disciples of all nations. What we're doing on the UMP is making disciples who will make disciples in the urban context.
My favourite thing about the urban ministry course is that it's so contextualised to urban mission, and I've done other courses and there's just nothing like it.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it, but at the same time I think it's been challenging as well. It's not just an academic course, but it's got a spiritual side to it where, you know, it helps you to grow and become more like Christ.
With this, it's so, you absorb it. It's a part of your life. It's talking about your relationship with the Lord on a constant basis. And so because of that, I'm constantly trying to live it out. So it's not homework that requires me just to write something down. It's homework that requires me to live differently.
So we do this in 3 parts. The first part is doctrine and discipleship. We're teaching people doctrine, but through the lens of discipleship. So in other words, we're looking at how do you make disciples, and what is the doctrine that you teach people, and what is the doctrine behind making disciples. And what we do basically is we teach people how to take people through the urban catechism. And the urban catechism is a discipleship tool that we've developed specifically for making disciples in the urban context. And on the UMP, we go behind the theology of the urban catechism and we study systematic theology, trying to understand God and the Bible better.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the most interesting things about the UMP course is the catechism. I find it really helpful. Just the broad topics that we cover in the course has just been so helpful to me, just how there's so many relevant topics to everyday Christian life, and how the catechism, we go through each one. And so I just feel more confident to give an answer based on just discussions I have on a normal day-to-day basis with other Christians. So catechism for me has been a huge blessing. Yeah, and I also think just the application questions as well for me have been convicting and have made me go back and assess certain areas of my life and to think about how I could just be a better disciple really and love Jesus more.
Urban Catechism is one of the best resources I've ever used as well. For my own family, it's got my 5-year-old daughter praying in a fantastic way, asking questions, and I know she's really listening, whereas before when I used to ask her a question she'd say like God, Jesus, Moses, and hope she'd get one of them right. Now she's actually answering the questions properly because she's engaged in reading the Bible herself, finding the pages, and that's working right across the board from my own family to the men that I'm working with on the estate. Brilliant,
I really love it. I'm doing it with 2 girls and it's just been so exposing of me personally, my problems, and also it helps them think about it. Even though they're new Christians, they really get it. It's really great.
Yeah, banging. I mean, it's helped me to just reflect on my own sins. God has really helped me through that, just revealing, through scriptures about myself.
In my life, there's been fruit in doing it, but also I've started to do some of the catechism in my family with my wife and some other people, and it's just, the catechism itself is such a great tool for getting to grips with the Bible in a systematic way. This just condenses so much truth in a way that makes it applicable to your life and keeps going on a journey that's going to build into a bigger picture of what the church should be like, what family should be like, what Christian life should be like. So it sort of paints a picture for us of how we should be living as God's people together.
Tremendous discipleship tool. I think it's very unique. I think it's unique in the way that it's actually able to take anyone from non-believer to even a maturing believer and really challenge and help them to grow and develop. It's definitely been my experience.
Yeah, it's a really good instrument in engaging with somebody and being able to allow them the space to open up. So certain questions you can't just ask, oh, are you in sin? But the questions on the catechism, because you're going through them line by line and you're going through the word, it actually enables that person to open up naturally without that kind of disjointed effort.
The Urban Catechism, it goes through a lot of things, deep things, which challenges your heart and exposes your sin. And it's convicted me a lot in certain areas. I've done it at one time before already, and going through it again, it's still the same effect. Even I think it's growing more on me, like it's just convicting me more, and it's helped me to just to have basic theology as well about God, and yeah.
Now the second part of the UMP is handling the Bible in the urban context, and we study how to study the Bible using biblical theology and using exegesis. We use these tools to understand what the Bible originally meant, and then we learn how to teach it to other people. Whether you're teaching in a Bible study in someone's living room, or if you're preaching at a church, or if you're doing an evangelistic talk, we look at tools and equip people so that they can teach the Bible to people in a way that communicates the gospel clearly in the urban context.
I found the exegesis really helpful in the way that in everyday life, while I'm reading my Bible and I come across something I don't quite understand, I can then do exegesis so I understand it better for myself instead of going up and asking someone, and I get a deeper understanding than I would have if I asked someone. So I found it really helpful.
Yeah, the biblical theology for the first time has given me more confidence in understanding the Bible as a whole. Like at first I wasn't really too confident with the Old Testament, and so it's helped me kind of view the Bible as one big picture, and it's training me to how to do that basically, so I have more confidence to, I don't know, look at Genesis and see how that points to Christ, and then, you know, link a New Testament scripture to the Old Testament.
Teaching the Bible was really enjoyable. When I first saw that we were going to do that, it was probably the thing I was most nervous of, and I've always thought public speaking was not something I'd be good at, and I've always found it hard in those situations. But with the sort of teaching we got and the information we got and how we learnt to prepare our talks, I felt really confident that I could do it. And after doing it, I thought this is something I could do and carry on doing.
And then the third part of the UMP is the mission module, and here we put together everything we've learned so far on the course, and we do this at the end of the course. We look at what does the Bible say about what our mission is, what is the mission of the church, and then we look at how can we do the mission of the church in our local context.
Yeah, that opened my eyes a lot into how we view mission, because I used to just view mission as missionary, someone going out to somewhere that hasn't got the gospel. But I realised that mission is very much in my own neighbourhood and within my own context, and something that we often miss. So just going through the biblical theology of mission, seeing how it was done in the Old Testament to the New Testament, and going through that really helped a lot. And I feel that, yeah, there is so much that you have to consider in terms of different cultures, different classes of people. There's so much to consider, so it just really opens your eyes and makes you be very careful of how you should do that.
Now the UMP is designed for all kinds of people. You could have been a Christian for just a year and you're keen to study, and the UMP will be good for you. But you could also be a church leader who wants to do the UMP with other people in your church and study alongside them and work together to make disciples in the urban context. Or you could be a church planting team that's about to plant a church in an inner city area, and you want some more training and equipping for doing it, and the UMP could be ideal for you. If you want to make disciples in the urban context, then the UMP has been designed for you.